Okay, so quick little bit of background. If you don't know, I run two businesses, and that means I can't spend all my time on my Amazon business. So quite simply, when I say I'm going to be doing this in February 2021, what I mean is my team. My team will be doing the majority of this. I will be supporting them. So today I'm going to talk about what I've learned and what I'm going to do going forward. Okay, so quick question before I jump into it. Tell me about your January 2021 and maybe what you're doing in February 2021 as well. Drop it in the comments down below. Let me know what's changed, but also as well what you're going to be doing differently. I'm always interested to learn. Maybe there's something I can pick up from you. First, coffee. What's up, Amazon sellers? Today I am going to be talking about what I'm doing in February 2021 to grow my Amazon business new heights. If you don't know who I am, my name is Thomas Parkinson, and quite simply, I have been selling on Amazon now for about 4 years, and I'm on a mission right now to do £1 million by the end of 2021. I'll drop a link up there. You can see my journey and all about it and what I'm doing. But today, quite simply, I'm going to be talking about my plans for February 2021. Let's get into it now. February 2021. I talked about this, I was doing it in January and we started the process, but we were a little bit delayed. This is about me training up a new purchasing assistant. Now, quick bit of background, I've got a purchasing manager and 4 sourcers. Now, quite simply, what I'm looking to do is to train up another sourcer into like an assistant purchasing role. Why? Because a couple of reasons. Number one, sometimes, or quite simply, my purchasing manager will work 12-hour days quite regularly. And I just don't think that's right. I think there's a lot of pressure on him. So I want to take that pressure away and also as well move some of that work to someone else. Number two is the fact that if my purchasing manager ever wants holiday, who has to cover him? Well, that's me. And my God, I'm awful. Like, I know I am the worst thing in my business. So having someone else to take over that role is going to just basically make my business more efficient, and it's going to have in redundancies so that if he ever gets sick, then we can continue operating, which I think is really, really important. Now, let's just go through that process of hiring a assistant, promoting an assistant purchasing manager. Now, quick thing, what I will say is I've done this whole process in a lot of detail in a video that I'll drop just up here about purchasing managers, hiring purchasing managers, and what you're looking for. So watch that, it's going to help you. But quite simply for me, what I've done is, because it's internal, I've basically put the message out to all the team to say, hey, we are looking to promote someone into an assistant purchasing manager role. And as a result, we'd like for them to apply, just saying that they are interested and why they think they'll be a good fit. Not really too much more than that, but the simple reason is why are we doing that rather than choosing them is the fact that we will go through a process of, number one, they've got to want the job before we choose them. Number two, we've got to see that they want the job, i.e. they're going to come to an interview and they will listen, we can listen to them and see why they're good enough and also explain the role. And then finally we'll interview. The last thing you want to do is promote someone into a role that they never wanted in the first place. That's just a recipe for disaster. So going through that application process, getting them to apply, it just means getting the right person for the job. Now, the second thing which I'm going to be doing in February is quite simply, I've got a new sourcer coming into the business and my purchasing manager is going to spend quite a bit of time with them, supporting them coming into role, but also as well, my purchasing manager will also be getting the rest of the team to support that sourcer. So quite simply, one of my old sourcers unfortunately left. They had to move somewhere, the internet just wasn't going to work, so they had to leave. But right now, we've got another sourcer coming in, already started. It's about developing them, getting them up to speed, systems, processes, targets, and supporting them. And if you want to know, that is from the FastTrackFBA VA Academy, and that's a service I run where we hire manual sources and quite simply put them into people's businesses. If you want to have a look, I'll drop a link down below. So the next thing which we're going to be doing, and I think it's probably number three in February 2021, quite simply, team reviews. We have talked about the year is super, super busy. I think it's a really good time just to take a moment and sit down with your team. Now, what does this look like? Well, actually, as my purchasing manager, will be sitting down with all his reports. So 4 sourcing VAs and 1 admin VA, and quite simply going through a team review. Now, this is really a 3-stage process or 3-stage interview, review. Quite simply, what's happened, what's been the challenges, what's been the opportunities for improvements, and then how are they as a person, like how's work fitting in with their life. We're trying to get to just know how is this operation for them. And then number 3, quite simply, what's going forward for the future. And the kind of questions we're thinking about are very much around, are they growing as a team member? Do they see that there's a future in this business? Do they feel happy? Do they feel they're learning and developing? We want to encourage that. Now, it might be the case that you can't promote someone into a purchasing manager role right yet, but it can be the case that maybe you want them to champion a certain thing within your business. It could be, I don't know, say for example, new ways of sourcing, creating SOPs for your business, getting them to do things just above and beyond their existing role, which gives them more ownership and gives them an opportunity to grow and learn. That's what we're looking for. But also as well, we want to take a moment to check in with our staff, just to make sure that they're enjoying working here. And if there's any problems, then we can identify them and resolve them. Why? Because we want a highly productive workforce and we want people to be happy. And I love having a happy team and a happy working environment. Now that kind of leads me nicely onto my fourth thing, which is that I'm going to be doing the review with my purchasing manager. Exactly the same format. I'm going to be looking at that journey of the last year, what's happened, where he's done really well, but also the opportunities for improvement. We're not looking for negatives, we're just looking for opportunities for improvement. I'm going to check in with him about what's happened with him on a personal level, how work's been with that, and also then really looking at the future, where he's going, where he's developing, where he sees his future, and maybe even his 5 and 10 year personal goal and what that looks like. It might not be in my business, but it could be the case that I can do things in my business which are going to help him achieve that or help towards that. And I'm really happy to do that because I know that even if he stays for another year, I'm going to get a really productive year and that's going to benefit my business. And he's going to be a happier person as well because he is learning and growing. So quite simply, number 4, my purchasing manager review. Why? Because I'll do it with him and then he can do it then thereafter. Number 3, all my staff. The other big thing which has happened, obviously, as we say, as we know, has been Brexit. We are now out of the EU. And how's that affected us? Well, quite simply, obviously, we are not selling in the EU. We've pretty much stopped that for the moment while they work out the whole trade arrangement, and Amazon did a really good job of stopping that pretty much, I think, around the 27th of December. But the other thing is that there are a lot of suppliers who are, let's just say they're actually in the EU, but you may have thought they're in the UK. So there's one, for example, we didn't kind of realize, and I think it's just an oversight, we just forgot about it. But I'll show you a clip here. So this is from Cocoon Center. Now, quite simply, they have, you can see here, it's basically free delivery. Now, this is an invoice before the Brexit, and then obviously after Brexit, all of a sudden, all the prices have changed. I'll drop another snippet here. That is all the prices for shipment have gone up. Now I really understand, obviously, Brexit, not only is it, you've now got the shipping hassle and all the problems, but we've left the EU and there's so much around it, it's hassle. But the one thing is, a lot of these suppliers, you kind of may have thought they're actually in the UK when they're not. They're actually on the continent, but they have a UK web address, they look UK based, and they have pretty much UK shipping times, i.e. 2-day delivery, or maybe next day delivery or 2-day, and as a result, you think they are. So really simple to see there, but just obviously be aware that some of the suppliers, which maybe you thought they weren't in the UK or were in the UK, are now not. And as a result, increases in shipping prices. What are we doing? We're just going to stop buying them. That's it. We've pretty much stopped already, but I wanted to communicate that with you. Now, the next thing that we're going to be doing, and you might think I'm a bit crazy, is quite simply what we used to do in December, and it worked really well, is to get my team, my purchasing manager, to change the prices of our products in the repricer. Now, we pretty much automate most of the process, but the team were jumping in and just doing some manual changes, keeping an eye on it. And that's pretty much with my purchasing manager. Now, quite simply, we're going to hand that off to the team to do on a more permanent basis. Why? Well, my purchasing manager will still monitor on day-to-day, but the training this month will be very much around training up my team to do that completely, all hands off, so my purchasing manager can free up some time and probably work less than 12 hours a day, which I don't think is fair on him. So we're happy to move that over because that's going to just spread out the workload across more people and build in more redundancy within in my business. It's going to help out. So that's pretty much it for my plans for February 2021. Now, you might think I'm not really doing too much and not pushing forward, but I kind of think that actually it does take time for these things to happen. And also as well, just the process of training up an assistant purchasing manager or purchasing assistant is actually really, really time consuming, not only on my business, but also when I did my purchasing manager, it was so much hard work. So I just want to make sure I get that right because it's so fundamental to the business. I'd rather delay things for another month than get that wrong and have a £10,000 bill for products that are never going to sell. So getting that right is super, super key. Now, that kind of leads me on quite nicely to thinking about the future and maybe something to share with you that's going to help you out in your business when you're thinking about creating these plans. So I would always recommend thinking long term. Now, I kind of probably say that I think in 3 to 6 months as like that's a normal operating time for me, but I'd even go so far, think about next Q4. We've just left Q4. Where would you want to be? Where would you want your business to be ready for the next Q4? Now, for me, it's having 2 purchasing managers. That's pretty much where we're going to be, and that's what I need to do now. So thinking in those steps, long term is going to make a big difference, and putting those positions, those chess pieces into place are going to really help you. Now, another thing I've learned it for myself from years of experience is quite simply, is we have a tendency to overestimate what we can achieve in a day, i.e. our jobs list is too long, but we underestimate what we can achieve in a year. So I'd really challenge you to make some big goals in a year, but on a daily basis, break it down into maybe just 3 things that you want to achieve in that day that's going to help you get where you need to be. Now, the final thing which I will say to you is, and I say this because I like to think that maybe I'm reaping the rewards of it, is build your team. Operate this business as a business, not as a job, and build that team out. That is the reason why I get to travel. That's the reason why I get to build 2 businesses. And when I want to take a day off or a week off, I can, but also as well, when I want to work a lot, I can as well. Unfortunately, I do work quite a lot, but I do think that having a team enables you to build a business which operates without you. And that's the difference between having a job that only works when you're in the business, or having a business which can grow and scale without you needing to do everything. And hey, maybe you can come join me in Cancun and we can have a whale of a time in the nice weather out here. Right, that is it from me today. Hopefully you've enjoyed that content. Give me a big thumbs up, and hey, hit that subscribe button if you want to know more. I'm doing a series of videos all the time about just my Amazon business, documenting that, and also helping about you, looking at your questions, answering them. What I'm going to do is drop a link around here to a video about how to be successful in Amazon in 2021. But for me, Thomas Parkinson and FastTrackFBA, thank you very much.